Ciao ragazzi, eccoci stasera con una nuova chiacchierata per fare la conoscenza con un altro dei protagonisti della prossima Red Bull XAlps 2025. Attesissima 12ª edizione della più appassionante gara di I Can Fly al mondo. Quest'anno FIVL con i suoi canali e con il sottoscritto è stata invitata formalmente e accreditata come media press nella competizione. Quindi saremo presenti nei giorni preparatori allo start, durante la gara e poi durante lo svolgimento saremo di nuovo live con i teams, i piloti, gli organizzatori che man mano avranno modo di collegarsi con noi. Ok, siamo pronti? Questa sera non indugiamo oltre, siamo pronti per parlare con... Ok, questa sera siamo con Mathilde e con Hugo, sono di AIRDESIGN e ci parleranno un po' delle loro vele che appunto hanno preparato per la Red Bull XAlps. So, welcome Hugo and welcome Mathilde. Thanks to be with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know that Mathilde also talks quite good Italian, but we will go in English for tonight. But I know that you are also, because you lived in Italy some period, right?
Yes, I lived 4 years in Trento.
Ah, okay. This is why then. Okay, very well. Okay, so first of all, tell us, please, your role into AIRDESIGN. What are you doing there?
I start?
Yes.
Well, I've been working for AIRDESIGN for 4 years now, a bit more than 4 years, and I'm in charge of marketing and communication.
Okay.
And on my side, I'm working at AIRDESIGN not since a long time, since December of this year. But before, I was for 5 years at Super Development Teams, also in the glider department. So still the same work, but other brand.
Right. Okay, so let's dive into the Red Bull XAlps. Red Bull XAlps is, as we know, one of the most important and prestigious race for I Can Fly and for sure this kind of paragliding world in the world. What is the importance for AIRDESIGN of a race like this?
Well, I start, but Hugo, if you want to complete my answer, you just go ahead. But from my point of view, when I arrived at AIRDESIGN, it was the year of the Red Bull XAlps in 2021, and I was already pushing at that time, saying that if we are a I Can Fly paragliding company, we should have a glider at the XAlps, because as you said, it's truly the most important race in this field, and we have it's truly in our DNA to make like gliders, and so I can't say how much I'm happy that this year finally we are back in this prestigious race with the Hero Xped, which is an amazing glider, and so I'm super excited.
Right. So, Ugo, what do you do normally with your pilots into this kind of race? Let's say we talk about the XAlps, but also other races where pilots are participating. You try to tailor the wing over them, or you have a wing and then the pilot has to, let's say, learn how to fly it and how to control it.
So first, we start from the glider we have already on the range. Then we know where are the potential, where we can make it evolving. So what should be improved, because we really know where is the important way to develop for this kind of race, which is the easy usability. The performance needs to be usable. The landings, we need to have a long break travel to make it easy on a tiny place. Same for launching, needs to be as easy as possible, as light as possible. So we know where are the things we need to develop. Then we try our best to make the gear as complete as possible. And then with for example, with Davide, we give him the glider and he sends us some feedback, and then we know where we are, if they are happy or not. But it's development is something really complex, and we need to limit the number of inputs. And that's why on our vision, it's nice to have a small development team of 3 people, because otherwise going to many directions and you have lots of different inputs. So it's good to have a development team that people know really well each other, and know that when these people tell you this feedback, then okay, you take it this way, how much you need to improve. And it's much faster to work with a small development team and not too many exchanges. But then for sure, when it's close to final, we start to have the exchange with the pilot.
Yes, sure. I understand your point of view, and I believe it's absolutely correct, because too many inputs, and we know that in paragliding, every one of us has its own idea about
exactly
how the wing must be.
And sometimes also what you don't see is that we know what is the best glider for XAlps, but when you touch some things, then you touch all the other things. So you improve something on the launching, then you lose on the landings, on the certification. And for example, for the END category, like there is some maneuvers where we could be really blocked. So we have to make some tricks to match these maneuvers. And to match this, for sure, it will change a little bit the performance, but it's improved safety. And this, if you just fly the glider like XAlps styles, you will not feel all this kind of small information, but that are critical in the development if you want to pass the certification.
Yes. Normally, when you think of a glider tailored for the XAlp, you are more concentrated on performance or safety? Because I ask you this because I don't think about safety as it is a safety for me, which is a Sunday pilot. I mean safety for those kind of pilots.
I know. In fact, you can say, Mathilde.
I just want to say that we really had in mind that during the XAlps, pilots are really tired, So for sure, they are not leisure pilots, they are co-pilots. But this magnitude of race makes them a bit weaker than just, for cross country for just one day of very nice conditions. So I think it's really a complex balance between performance and safety. But I know that for Stefan Stigler, and I suppose for Hugo too, safety is always a very, very, very important aspect of a glider. He wants people to have fun and be safe with the AIRDESIGN gliders.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why also the aspect ratio, the choose was not to make it so high. That's why we keep something 6.8, we think is manageable in really tough condition, and also for the landings, and also to avoid the less aspect ratio you have, the more compact glider you get, the more you can tighten the glider close to the wall or in really tiny place, and the more it feels compact. And the more you have increase the aspect ratio, the more it starts shaking, and it's more hard to fly, more demanding, more tiring. That's why, the glider is more compact. Also, we have takes a lot of time on the development to make sure, for example, if you want to go like on a pumping style to just land on a really small place, to be sure that, for example, if you miss the point of the stall, if you release your hand by only 5 centimeters, the glider immediately start to re-inflate. And this is the characteristics of the profile, but also how we maintain the stiffness all along the cord. So this is lots of different tricks in the internal structure, but also in the comportment of the profile to immediately refly. This and all the time we know that, for example, if we want to improve this characteristic to gain safety on the glider in the landings, probably we will lose a little bit on the performance wise or full speed stability, but we prefer, it's always a choice. We say we prefer to have something really easy on the landings and you can't go through, you know exactly where is the glider, than something where probably you will win a little bit of performance, but then if you're tired, you can land on your back badly.
Yes, sure, absolutely true. So in these years, we say that we have seen so many, let's say, innovation in paragliding, in fabrics, in materials, and so on. Which are the direction, apart from the XAlp, but also for the future, that AIRDESIGN is following for the XAlp, but also further? The innovation way, which is your idea of the paraglider of the future?
If you want, Mathilde, you want to
Yeah,
answer,
well,
Mathilde,
I
or I
just
can if you want?
you are for sure more aware of this than me, but what I can say from my point of view is that we know that no one likes to walk with a heavy rucksack, you know. So for sure, we really enjoy to propose to offer a nice handling glider with light materials, and but we also don't like when it costs the durability, you know. So again, it's always a fine balance between making something light but still durable. And I know that this is something we have in mind. We had in mind for a long time, and it's still something quite important for us.
Yeah, to complete what Mathilde say, I'm totally agree. Is the direction of Stefan is on his development of the XPED was really to say how we can save the maximum of weight while not making so much compromise on durability. And the choice we made is we say first the weight is coming from the number of cells. So if you have 80 cells, for sure it's going to be really heavy compared if you have 50 cells. So on our glider, we have the less cells count compared to all the other XAlps glider. But this makes a huge difference because like this, we can add a lot of reinforcements inside, sticky reinforcements, adding materials. And our direction is to say we want something. Probably we know we have a bit more balloonings, but the ballooning is the same for 200 hours because it's a lot of stiffness inside the glider. So we manage to control it also with the Nitinol rod. So our mind is more to have to build a more stiff structure and to save weight by removing some cells. And we also check what we lose in terms of performance by reducing the number of cells because we lose on the profile drags. But that's why we have a different profile, which is not the same thickness as the other who have 80 cells to manage this ballooning, which will be a bit higher. And also we have the arch is not that round, so it's a bit more flat, which we know will increase the induced drags on the trim speed to half bar. So this is also completely different in the XAlps glider you can see on the market today. For example, if you check the Zeolite 2 is more round and more short lines, which is super nice for high speed glide ratio. And our direction is a bit different, a bit like Skywalk, more flat arch to have really good stability on the roll axis and also increasing performance in trim speed to half bar. But with this construction, we know we lose a little bit at full speed. But you know, each constructor make a choice where you want to improve. We know where are the tools, we know what is in the market, and our vision is this. So it's always the recipe, like you make the recipe you want.
Right. And are you going to work also to bring all these high-end technology down to the C glider and B glider also?
Well, each time they are working on a new project, you know, when they are finding interesting solutions, for sure, it's always nice to then to apply them to other gliders. And for example, I know that the development of the Volt 5 and the Rise 5, so an ENC 2 liners and ENB 2.5 liner, was really, you know. How do you say divided, you know. Stefan finds some tricks and he decided to put them on the other glider and find out something else and blah blah. So yeah, for sure, when you are working on your recipes and you find nice ingredients, for sure you can use them for other lower category of certification. Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Are you? Yes, yes, Hugo, please.
Yeah, the latest things, for example, on the Hero XP, the internal structure, I mean, the cross ports where the holes and stuff is the same on the Suzy now, because all we have learned on the Hero, we put it on the Suzy. And all the times when we work on the higher aspect ratio glider, for example, even if we work on a higher aspect ratio glider that we know we will not release on the market, it's really nice to push it and to learn on the new profile, on the new stability, on a line set adjustment, where are the reinforcement, and then pull it down to the other category. It's always like this.
Right, I understand. Are you going to have a team on the ground also following more or less the race? I mean, I know that Davide has its own team, but are you going to be also on the race?
Myself, I will be at the start of the race to encourage Davide and Hugo, the two pilots that are flying the Euro XPED. And then, of course, we have the turn point in France, Les Deux Alpes, which is really close to the French office. And we hope that with some team pilots, French team pilots, we will be able to be at this turn point and to cheer up the athletes from our design team. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about the route of this year?
Oof. It's a very, very beautiful one, but a very long one. And I think it's really a matter of weather. If the weather is not good enough, it will be really tough for the athletes.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, when I saw the first day the route, my feeling was, okay, if it's flyable, fantastic. If it's not flyable, it can be the first year that we don't see anyone arriving because it's very long, and also having to cross the Alps 4 times up and down. It's very tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so we have gone through a little bit about what AIRDESIGN is preparing for the race. For sure, we will be at the start to cheer up the pilots and to say all the best to them. What is something that you expect to see in the race? What that you would like to see?
For me, for sure, I'm always curious about Kriegel Maurer magic moves.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, this is someone I like to follow because he's really amazing. And each edition, the global level is always higher. And so the competitions is always tougher for him, but still he's always on the top. So that's for sure someone I really like to follow. Then, of course, I'm so happy we have AIRDESIGN pilots on this edition. So I will cheer them a lot. And then from just more a personal point of view, I was the supporter of Damien Lacaze. So of course, I will also follow Damien.
Okay, yes. Yeah, last year, 2 years ago, last time, he did this fantastic longest flight ever of the XAlps. That was really amazing. Staying in the air for so many hours after so many days of the race, because it was already more or less at the end, maybe 3-4 days before the end of the race, and he was staying in the air so long. So fantastic, fantastic. Yes. And you, Hugo, what are you expecting from the race?
First, I want that nobody injured their body. Do not push too much. And that's what I say to Davide and Hugo. I say, first goal, don't make any pain. Come back to your house in 2 weeks. But yeah, for sure, I really want to see how the glider is performing. But I know already now in France we had a race, and we had a French guy make second position, and so it's super nice. We know it's working. So quite good on this point. Then yeah, for sure, I want to see how they will cross the main ridge many times, because I have seen now for flying in Austria that just from turn point 1 Kitzbühel to Italia, the main ridge is really fat. So if you cross by, probably on my vision is easier on walking on glacier than just passing by flying. It's quite demanding. If you land, then for sure you walk for a really long time. So yeah, it's impressive how demanding it is. And on my point of view, first, if someone else than Kriegel win, probably will be happy also if it's a French guy or Davide or Hugo.
Okay. Okay, so thanks very much, Mathilde. Thanks, Hugo, for this nice interview. So we'll see at the start in Kitzbühel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
See you.
Ciao.